Hello, I'm Brandon Altringer, and welcome to Shanley Boys Basketball. Before we get into the game, we're yet about 20 minutes in warm-ups. I'm joined alongside Shanley Boys head coach, Coach Burns. Thank you for joining us. Before we get started here, is there any been key players that kind of stood out this year, taking on some bigger roles from last year?
Yeah, we kind of have a whole new crew, and we had a lot of seniors last year and the last couple of years that I've played, and so we've had some guys step up, and Talon Hoffer's been one offensively for us that he's been kind of our go-to guy for the first half of the season, and a bunch of seniors that have stepped into roles that they're excited about, and some young guys that are now kind of getting in their own and getting used to varsity basketball. Yeah,
Talon Hoffer, a really name that stick outs to a lot of team, but coming into this game, have you changed the game plan at all, saying that you've already played them once this year?
Yeah, I think up there we had a nice lead at the end of the second half that if we can do some of those same things, that'd be nice. Defensively, we were really good that night. Offensively, it was a little bit of a struggle. Hopefully we can do a little bit better offensively tonight. They have great length, and it makes it tough to score around the rim for any team, and that's other teams other than us too. So we know we have to manufacture points a little bit different, but we've been flying around defensively, and we'll kind of keep with that.
Yeah, I know this is a huge game here tonight, but kind of looking forward a little bit. How critical is that you're playing both West Fargo schools? How critical is it to maybe sneak out one win out of those two games?
Yeah, we'd love to get any wins at this point of the season, and yeah, you're playing everybody twice and getting that second look at them, and we kind of know what to expect. They kind of know what to expect from us a little bit, so little tweaks here and there can help. And yeah, it's always fun to play this time of year and get ready to go for tournament time.
Yeah, that's huge right there. Well, Coach Burns, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Brandon.
We're about 17 minutes away yet, but stay tuned. We have a great basketball game coming up.
Perfect.
Hello and welcome to McCormick Gymnasium on the campus of Shanley High School for an EDC basketball matchup between the Devils Lake Firebirds and your Shanley Deacons. I'm Brayden Altschinger alongside my partner Andy Simon. Before we break this game down and actually get into the action itself, we send it down to the PA for a couple short announcements.
Good evening and welcome to McCormick Gymnasium here on the campus of Shanley High School for tonight's Eastern Dakota Conference boys basketball matchup featuring the visitors on the scoreboard, the Devils Lake Firebirds, and your home team, Shanley Deacons. Shanley High School would like to remind all fans that we're a tobacco, drug, and alcohol-free campus. Thank you for your cooperation in these matters. Also, the concession stand and restrooms are located south of the gymnasium in the commons area of the school. At this time, I ask that you please rise. Remove all headwear as Father Charles LaCroix will lead us in prayer.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Thanks and praise be to you, God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, who has bestowed on us in Christ every spiritual blessing in the heavens. And we thank you for the great blessing of allowing us to gather together here tonight for this contest. We ask you, as always, to be with us throughout the entire evening. Watch over us, bless us. Keep the players free from injury and harm. Allow them to play to the best of their ability. Reward them for their efforts tonight. Let everything we think, say, and do give you great honor, glory, and praise. And when the evening is complete, allow us to reach our homeward destinations in safety. We pray all this in the name of your Son, Jesus, by the power of your Holy Spirit. You are God forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem. Tonight's anthem will be performed by Shanley Senior Maria Lusardi.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, came proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
At this time, I'd like to draw your attention to the scores table as Shanley basketball player Quincy Smith will read the EDC Sportsmanship Creed.
North Dakota High School Activities Association and the Eastern Dakota Conference encourage and promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We ask that you cheer for your team and be respectful of the opponent. As high school student athletes, we commit to fair play, responsibility, and respect. We invite you to support our efforts.
At this time, I'd like to introduce your Deacon cheerleaders. Their coach is Carrie Brazier. Your cheerleaders are Lauren Ames, Claire Madsen, Andrea Pablo, Teresa Rain, and Cassie Simon. Now for tonight's starting lineups. Lineups will be done in alternating fashion.
Don't go anywhere. High school basketball is next after a message from our sponsors.
The Devils Lake Firebirds. Starting at a guard, up 5'11" senior number 1, Luke Anstead. At guard for the Deacons, the 6'3" junior number
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Butler Machinery, Ed's Marine, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Haley's Hope, Hurley's Religious Goods, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Northern Improvement, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, Sanford, Shields, Taxman, TCI Insurance, and Wolf Steel Construction.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to high school basketball. Again, I'm Brandon Altschinger alongside my partner, Andy Simon. Well, Andy, we're on for a good basketball game here tonight. Are there any players to watch here for both teams here tonight?
Well, I think for Devils Lake, Grant Nelson is definitely a player to watch. Absolutely towers over some of the other players at 6'8", and he can ball. I mean, he's got the whole package, tall, can play. He's a great player.
Yeah, he does have that whole package. Now, what are your kind of keys to the game before we tip off here?
Well, both teams have had a history of turning the ball over, and I think whoever can turn the ball over less and still play at a high level will have a great chance of winning this game.
I would have to agree with you, Andy, on that statement. And we are underway with the Devils Lake Firebirds winning the tip. Now as Onstad brings it up the court, he will set up the offense. Dahlin with the drive. No foul called. Rebound comes down to Deacons, and there is a whistle. Looks like we will have a foul call on the play on the Firebirds. It'll be on number 23, Leif Nelson. That'll be his first, as well as a first team foul. Braden Bars for the Deacons bring the ball up the court here now. Looking for a pass, swings it over to Mears. Mears swings it up top to Talon. Hoffer on the drive, puts it up and it rattles in. 2 points for the Deacons. Take an early 2-point lead. How crucial is it there, Andy, to get a huge lead or somewhat of a lead on these two opponents?
Well, I mean, both these teams have a great offense, and they could really start to take off after a little bit of momentum. So, I mean, getting an early lead and kind of getting some points up before the other team is huge in this game.
Freilich up top, swings it back over to Nelson. Dahlin in the corner, looking for a pass. Shot clock's running out. Nelson puts it up, does not convert. Isaac Clava with the rebound. Isaac Clava bringing it up the court now for the Deacons. Swings it to Mears in the corner. Mears looking for Holt to drive but cannot find one. Pulls it to Bars. Bars pulls up. Does not go. Daniel Warner with the rebound. Gets denied by Nelson. Another denial there for the Devils Lake. How crucial is it to win down low with both teams having a big man here?
Well, I mean, a big man is definitely a great component you can have on your team. So, I mean, it's kind of a battle of the big boys down there. But, I mean, Daniel Warner, great player, great rebounding. And Grant Nelson, he's a great player, great rebound, and great shooting also. So, it's just whoever can get there, get the ball up, get rebounds. I mean, that's what you really need.
Exactly, and right there we see the dominant of Grant Nelson. His teammate's able to swing it down low to him, and he's able to get the easy 2-point basket to tie the ball game here. Mears and Warner with a little pick and roll action. Mears is able to convert on a 2-point basket. Looks like the Deacons will apply a little pressure, but then they'll sag off, letting Devils Lake get an easy look, but it will not convert. Hoffer bringing the ball up the court here. Going to pull up with a 3. That's no good. Hoffer's been struggling from 3-point land recently. Do you think it's kind of mental, or he just needs to find his groove again?
I think he definitely just has to find his groove again. In the past, he's had a good run-in with a couple 3-pointers here and there. But, I mean, I think if he really gets going, he'll definitely be able to make a lot more threes than he is now.
Deacon setting up the offense here. Clavo with the drive. Looking for a foul call. Doesn't get one. Turnover for the Deacons. Devils Lake trying to get out in transition and get an easy basket. Deacons counter nicely. Nelson with another 3. Shots up, and it's good. I'll give him a 1-point lead with 15 minutes left in the first half. Bars into Daniel Warner. Daniel Warner looking for a pass. He's not known to shoot out there, so good smart play there to get out the pass. And another turnover for the Deacons. That's critical. That's 2 key turnovers. You can't let that get out of hand right away. Onside. Over to Nelson. Freilich back to Nelson. Another three by Nelson, and it's good. You know, with him being so tall, you wouldn't expect him to be able to shoot like that, but he's knocked 2 early threes down. Deacons got to be a little worried, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, normally it's when you see a tall player, they're kind of lanky, a little not too coordinated, but I mean, this Grant Nelson guy, he's really great, can hit threes, can do it all, so Deacon's going to have to bear down on defense.
Yeah, and you just got another rebound there, getting the transition started for the Firebirds, but the Deacons are again able to stop it quickly. There'll be a whistle on the play. It looks like we'll have a reaching foul on the Deacons. And the foul will be on Daniel Warner, number 44. That'll be his first personal and first team foul for the Deacons. A couple substitutions here for the Deacons. Emmett Kenny, number 10, and then Brandon Kaiser as well. You know, for Devil's Lake, it almost looks like they're trying to get Nelson the ball on every play. You think he might be their kind of role player?
Oh, definitely. I mean, there's always that one player who you kind of really want to get the ball to more, and Nelson definitely seems to be the one for the Devil's Lake Firebirds.
It looks like Deacons were able to get the rebound, but no, it kicks back out to number 23, Nelson. He's able to get a 2-point basket to stretch it out to a 6-point lead for Devil's Lake. Mears over in front of the Devil's Lake bench, swings it back up to Clava. Clava over to DeKaiser. Kaiser looking for a shot. Mears now in the corner taking a drive, and there will be a whistle on the play. Looks like it'll be another foul on Devil's Lake. It'll be on number 1, Luke Anstead, his first, second team foul. Deacons ball underneath the hoop. Looks like there will be a couple substitutions for Devil's Lake. I couldn't quite get the numbers, but I'll try to get those to you as soon as I can. Another whistle on the play. Foul will be on the Deacons. They'll call an offensive on Emmett Kenny. It'll be his first personal second team foul. Deacons applying pressure here on Devil's Lake, struggling to get the ball across, but they do. Into the corner over to 24, Josh Dolan. Up with the three, rattles in and out. Rebound to the Deacons. Trying to get the fast break going here. We'll see if they'll be able to convert. Clavel with an ugly kind of looking shot. Maybe thinking a foul there, but refs don't see one. It'll be Devil's Lake ball. Over to the corner, over to number 2, Freilich. He's up with a three, and it's good. That's about 3 or 4 early threes here for Devil's Lake. If you're the Deacons, you got to stop that, don't you, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely one thing you don't want to let a team get going with is a 3-ball. It could be that one extra point can be crucial, especially towards the end of games.
Kenny with a 2-point shot just above the free throw line, in and out again. Oh, just out of the reach there for Devil's Lake, and we've already kind of noticed some turnovers both teams, you know. You said that whoever's going to win that turnover battle, not going to have enough. That's huge, you know, and they were already playing a huge role here in tonight's game. Hoffer bringing the ball up the court now for the Deacons. Swings up to DeKaiser. Kind of in a little dwindle there. Able to throw it up, and it's no good. Another rebound by Grant Nelson. At this point, he's already on track for a double-double. Probably in the first half, wouldn't you say?
Oh, I would not be surprised that happened.
Nice shot there by number 24, Josh Dolan. Deacons trying to bring the ball up the court quickly to settle this run. Hoffer with a three, no good. And another rebound comes down with Nelson. Josh Dolan over there swings it up to another play. That was a risky pass there as it was almost stolen. 3 up by number 2, Joey Freilich. That'll make it an 18-4 lead for Devil's Lake, and a smart timeout here by Shanley, wouldn't you say, Andy?
Oh yeah, I mean, Shanley's kind of been letting Devil's Lake kind of start to get ahead, and they definitely need to cool off. They were looking a little rushed out there on defense, kind of scrambling all over the place. So I mean, yeah, that was a great call by Burns, just kind of slow them down, let them regroup a little bit.
Yeah, and if you are Coach Burns, what are you telling your team after having a 4-point deficit really early?
I'm telling them be more aggressive, you know, go out for a couple more rebounds, just try your best, be tough in the paint, try and kind of stay away from a little more of those turnovers that they've been kind of so notorious for. But yeah, and just get out there, play as hard as you can, and get a win, hopefully.
Yeah, I think you hit that right on the nail. They got to try to stay away from those turnovers and win that turnover game. Now as we start play again. There's about 12 minutes left in the first half as the Deacons bring the ball up the court. DeKaiser with the ball up top, looking for a pass. Finally finds Braden Bars in the corner there, Braden to Braden. It looks like the ref's going to call that out of bounds, tipped by the Firebirds, so the ball will stay with the Deacons. Deacons with the designed inbound play here over to Mears in the corner. Mears drives right away. Back out to Bars, almost mishandles it out of bounds, but he's able to save it and get it to Kenny. Kenny with another 2-point shot about the free throw line. No good, and another rebound by Grant Nelson. Devils Lake come back quickly, look for an open shot. Shot up by Grant Nelson, that'll be 3, and boom! That's another 3 by Grant Nelson. That's his third 3 of the game. Makes it a 17-point lead for Devils Lake. You know, you think he would cool off, but it doesn't look like he's going to show stop at all.
Oh, no. He's a freight train, and you do not want to be on the tracks, and he's coming.
Mears up top, looking for a pass. Trying to get it to one of the Bradens there, but hits Braden Bars in the back of the head, and then the refs will call a travel, and it will be Devils Lake ball. Back in for Devils Lake will be number 23, Leaf Nelson, as well as number 1, Luke Anstad. Devils Lake able to break Deacons press quickly, but then they pull it out to try to set up the offense. Over to Onstad. Looked like there was a travel there. Fans want it, but they don't call, and Devils Lake gets a 2-point basket to make it a 19-point lead. You know, Deacons are known for their slow starts, but being a 19-point deficit already, you don't expect that out of any basketball team, do you?
No, not at all. But like you said, Shanley, they've had a long history kind of starting to go on little runs, get that little spurt of energy and really get going and pull ahead.
Yeah, as Andy Simon finishes talking there, we will have a foul on the play. It will be on the Deacons, and it will be on 44, Daniel Warner. That'll be his second personal third-team foul, with Leaf Nelson shooting 2 free throws. First free throw attempt is up and good. Getting Devils Lake to 24 in the first half. Talon Hoffer back in for Emmett Kenny. Second attempt is up and good. Goes 2 for 2 at the free throw line. Deacons bringing the ball up the court now. Bar's trying to get a little pick and roll action with Daniel Warner, but decides to kick it to Hoffer. Hoffer, yep, that looked like a carry all day, and the ref saw it. I don't think he was going to get away with that one, did you?
No, didn't quite look like it.
Looked like he tried to sell it there, but just didn't do quite a good enough job. Mears applying a little pressure there on Anstad. Now applying some pressure on Green, makes him go backwards. Finally, Devils Lake can get it across. And, you know, that's what Owen Mears is known for right there. Creating turnovers, creating fouls on the other team. That's who he is as a player, and that's what the Deacons need right now, is a player that can get them going. Looks like Mears is a little shaken up on the play, but Bars is going to help him up, and it looks like he will need a sub, so it looks like Jackson Lyer will come in for the Deacons. And we'll have to watch on that Mears injury, because I know he did kind of hurt his arm earlier in the season, so hopefully it wasn't a re-injury to that same thing, and hopefully he'll be able to return here tonight. Deacons get a quick look at a shot. It's no good. Another rebound by Grant Nelson. Devils Lake come up the floor quickly. Leaf Nelson tries to pass it, but can't find anyone. Excuse me, that was Josh Dolan. Devils Lake comfortable, send up the offense with a 21-point lead here. Shots up by 24, Josh Dolan. No good, Daniel Warner able to get the rebound. Deacons coming up the floor now. Lyer with a good look at an open floater, unable to convert, and Devils Lake comes up with the rebound. And if you're the Deacons, you have to be pretty happy with your shot attempts, because they're getting good looks, they're just not falling quite yet, and that will happen.
Yeah, like they're definitely getting great shots, great open shots, but they just got to start making them. I feel like they've been stuck at 4 for 10 minutes now. They just haven't been really getting anything going on offense.
Yep, and the foul on the play will be on Grant Nelson. His first personal will be their 4th team foul. Braden DeKaiser shooting 2 at the free throw line. First one at the charity stripe is good. Rattles in there. Roman Schraman now in for the Deacons. And number 2, Joey Freilich, is back in for Devils Lake, as well as number 21, Chris Shepard, in for the Firebirds. DeKaiser's second attempt is up. And it's going to sit there. Rattles out. Rebound to Devils Lake. Deacons applying a little pressure at the top of the key. Devils Lake able to comfortably find a pass and work it around the top of the key here. Onstad getting trapped. Finds Shepard over in the corner to number 2, Joey Freilich. No good. And rebound comes down to Talon Hoffer. If you're the Deacons here, you got to get something going, getting that rebound, and especially getting that first foul on Grant Nelson, who's the key role player for the Devils Lake Firebirds. Hoffer looking for a jump shot, can't find it. Lyer with another floater, and it's good. 2 points for Jackson Lyer off the bench. Makes it 18-point deficit now for the Deacons. Devils Lake able to get it across the floor. Looks like we'll have a kicked ball, and the Deacons will retain with Devils Lake. Looks like the Deacons have kind of transitioned to a 2-3 defense. It looks like they'll break out of it a little bit. Nope, but they'll stay in that 2-3. Try to create some turnovers for Devils Lake. And they did exactly that. They created a turnover with a violation on the line. It will be Deacons basketball with about 8 minutes left in the first half. You know, it kind of feels like the energy's starting to switch. Even though they're not scoring a lot of points, they're definitely getting some more turnovers, some more looks. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'd say that. For the last couple of minutes, they kind of started to get more turnovers. But, yeah, like you said, they haven't really been able to convert. And that would be huge if they could get a couple turnovers and put up some easy points.
We'll have a foul on the play on Devils Lake. It'll be on number 12, Michael Widmer. It'll be his first personal fifth-team foul. Back in for the Firebirds is Josh Dolan. Good look there for DeKaiser, and he converts. Brings the Deacons up to 9 points. That was huge there to get a nice score there after that foul. Josh Dolan brings it up the court, kicks it to Onstad. Onstad over to Freilich, back to Onstad, and we'll have a foul on the play. The foul will be on Braden Bars. That'll be his first personal, fourth team foul. Widmer over down low to Onstad. Onstad looking for an easy basket, and he converts. Wow, that wasn't that a pretty shot, kind of reversing and then able to convert?
Oh, yeah, that was a good little shot right there.
Lyer up top, looking, makes another fake, another floater by him. That's kind of his game there, but is unable to convert. DeKaiser with the rebound, puts it up, gets rejected over to Bars for the three-point attempt. No good. Rebound down to Shrema, and he gets fouled on the play by number 21, Chris Shepard. That'll be the sixth foul on Devils Lake. That'll be his first personal. Deacons are one foul short of being in the bonus for the remaining time of the half. Hoffer sets up the offense at the top of the key. Switches over to Bars, down to DeKaiser in the corner. DeKaiser will take that open shot and is unable to convert. Rebound come down to Josh Dolan. Josh Dolan bringing the ball up the court now. Kicks it over to Onstad. Freilich in the corner for three, no good. Rebound comes down to Hoffer. Hoffer trying to push the pace a little bit. Looking for a shot, looking for a foul. Finally gets a foul call. He'll have 2 shots at the charity stripe.
Falls on number 10, Grant Nelson, second personal, 16 foul. Talon Hoffer shooting 2.
That foul will be on number 10, Grant Nelson, his second. His first attempt is no good.
Leif Nelson back in for Devils Lake.
Leif Nelson back in for Devils Lake. Taking out Grant Nelson, who has a quick 2 fouls. And if you're Devils Lake, you don't want that with him being their role player, wouldn't you say?
Oh, not at all. I mean, too many times we see a lot of great players who get a little too over-aggressive and, will get kind of kicked out of the game or ejected out of the game for having too many fouls, and that's a huge loss for their team.
Yeah, and especially with him being so big, they're going to kind of call that because it's going to look more aggressive, but that's just his body size, and that's who he is. He can't do anything about that. After the made free throw attempt, Devils Lake turns it over right away, so it'll be Deacons basketball. Bars has it in the corner. Looks to Hoffer. Hoffer passes up an open shot back to Bars. DeKaiser up top, looking to drive. Able to get a look at a shot. Denied by Devils Lake there. With Devils Lake bringing up the court, they're up 17 with about 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Nice fake there by number 20, Dominic Bjornsson. He'll get denied there, and it will be Devils Lake ball off the Deacons. Freilich up top with the ball. Able to cut to the hoop and gets rejected by Schrema. Amstad's able to get the rebound, though. Out to Nelson. We have a double dribble called on Nelson as he picked it up and tried to dribble it again, but he was not able to get it by the referee. Looks like the Deacons are pretty comfortable just getting a good look here and getting a good possession. DeKaiser over to Lyer in front of the Devils Lake bench. You know, Lyer, let's talk about him for a minute. You don't normally see him coming into the game, but when time calls, he gets called on quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely not one of the biggest guys out there, but he is a very gritty player, and he goes out there, plays hard defense, has a lot of heart, and he's a great player.
It looks like we have an offensive foul on Leif Nelson. That'll be his third personal, 8th team foul on Devils Lake. That's huge for the Deacons now that they're able to get a good look. Another attempt here, only being down 15 now. Hoffer trying to speed up the Deacons a little bit as it appeared they did not know the ball was ready for play. Hoffer trying to make a little move here, kicks it up to Bars. Bars kicks out to Clava. He passes up a good pump fake, is able to convert on a 2-point floater. Brings the deficit for the Deacons to 13, and they apply the pressure right away. Devils Lake's able to easily beat that. Josh Dallin getting a good look, but it's rejected by Clava. Bjornsson up top. Back over to Widmer. He's having a little trouble finding someone to pass to. Finds Dallin in the corner. Crowd's kind of coming to life here for the Deacons, trying to get them another stop. And they're able to get that with DeKaiser pushing the pace here for the Deacons. He's going to go right to the hoop, put it up, but will be rejected by Bjornsson. I think that was a smart timeout call by Devils Lake, with Deacons getting a little bit of energy here and a little momentum.
Yeah, I mean, Devils Lake was kind of starting to turn the ball over a lot in these last few minutes, and Shanley wasn't really capitalizing on them. It was definitely giving them the momentum they could possibly use to start a comeback and kind of even this game out a little bit.
Yeah, and now with Devils Lake, let's kind of look at two of their key players here, Leif Nelson and the other Nelson, Grant Nelson. They have 5 fouls combined, 3 of those being Leif Nelson. How huge is that to have their 2 key players already be in foul trouble?
Well, it would be a huge blow to the Devils Lake offense and defense if they lost them in this game, because I mean they put up a lot of points, and I think without them, Shanley would definitely get a lot more momentum and start to possibly come back and maybe even win this game.
Yeah, especially with Grant Nelson out being standing 6'8", with Daniel Warner on the other side standing about 6'8" as well for Deacons. So if Daniel Warner can get going for the Deacons here, things are looking pretty good, because when there's no one to guard him, he's pretty much unstoppable in the EDC. With about 5 minutes remaining here in the first half, play will resume after a timeout called by Devils Lake. Widmer up top looking for a pass, able to pass it to 15. Hansen puts up a little floater and is no good, with the rebound coming down to Braden Bars. DeKaiser up top to Hoffer. Hoffer with a nice look, and it goes. That'll be a 2-point basket and the foul. Foul will be on number 12, Michael Widmer. That'll be his 2nd personal, 9th team foul. You know, as Talon Hoffer shoots this free throw attempt here, how critical is that? Devils Lake fouls are starting to add up, but they're all on the same player. They're not spread around. It's about 3 players who have about 8 of their fouls here.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a huge blow, as I said before, if they would lose any of their players who have definitely contributed to this game by too many fouls. And they definitely would want to look at that and kind of start cut back and play not aggressive, but kind of ease back a bit.
3 by Hoffer is no good, as the Deacons are only down by 10 now, with Devils Lake pushing the pace here. They have a foul call on Braden Bars. He took a charge. The crowd's coming a little bit back to life here for the Deacons, trying to root them on and get this deficit even smaller. That'll be on number 0, Jacob Green. That'll be his first personal 10th team foul. Joey Freilich back in for Bjornsson. So for the remainder of the half, Deacons will be in the double bonus, so we'll have to watch out for that. as that could be a critical stat to watch. Lyer over up top, finds Hoffer down low. What a nice pass. Series of nice passing for the Deacons, but it looks like it'll go off of Clavo, which he did not think so. And from my look, I would have to agree with him. It looked like it went off the Devil's Lake shoe. But nonetheless, it'll be Devil's Lake ball with about 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Devil's Lake kind of struggling to get the ball across, but they're able to get it. Green looking for a pass, finds Freilich up top. Hoffer swats it out of bounds, but saved by Dahlin. Looks like they'll call a reach-in foul on Braden DeKaiser. You know, you really don't want to foul here when they're kind of getting some momentum. That's kind of lowers the momentum, and then you kind of get in your head, and that could really, change your head for the rest of the game.
Yeah, Shanley's had a history of starting to gain momentum and start to go on a lot of runs. So, I mean, anything that can kind of stop that, you would definitely want to shy away from.
We have a turnover by Green, just kind of mishandled the ball there, so it would be Deacon's ball. It will be Bars for the Deacons, set up the offense now. Kind of dribbling, looking for somewhere to go. Kicks over to Kaiser. DeKaiser's going to drive right away. It looks like they're going to call a foul there. Charge, actually. Kind of looked like he flopped a little, but the referee did not agree. That'll be DeKaiser's second personal. Will be a 16 foul. So for the remainder of the half, Devils Lake Firebirds will be in the bonus. Devils Lake breaks the press. Kind of relaxes back now and sets up the offense. Looked like number 15, Hansen, was not ready for the pass there. Gets the Deacons out on a fast break. But a nice play by Anstead there to get it out of bounds and have the Deacons try again. Hoffer looking for someone to inbound to. Finds the Kaiser underneath. He's trying to look, kicks out to Clava. Clava for three, and it's no good. But that's kind of his game he's known for, as we have a foul called here. Looks like they actually will call it on Devil's Lake, so Deacons will retain possession here, and we'll get 2 shots at the charity stripe, and that'll be Talon Hoffer shooting those. The foul will be on Joey Freilich, his first personal. It'll be the Devils Lake Firebirds' 11th team foul of the half. Hoffer's first attempt is good. Brings down to a 9-point deficit. Second attempt up for Hoffer, and it's good as well. 8 points now is the margin between the Firebirds and the Deacons. Hoffer trying to draw a foul there, but none is called. Devils Lake's able to get it across. Kicks it into Widmer, trying to make a move. Looks like he got away with the travel there over to Dahlin. Another turnover for Devils Lake, and is out. Deacons in transition. Lyer not able to convert. Hoffer comes down with the rebound. Kind of stuck there in the corner looking for someone to pass to. Nice cut there by Clava. And his shot is in and out as well. Rebound to Devils Lake. Onstad pushing the pace here. Another foul called on Onstad. It'll be a charge. It'll be Deacon's ball. Do you think the Deacons or any team in the EDC kind of practice those charges? Because that's either the second or third, and you don't see them quite often here.
Oh, no, but I mean, it's definitely been common tonight, and Shanley's been doing a great job of drawing that. And I mean, they could take whatever they can get at this point, being down by 8 points.
The Kaiser kicks over to Lyer. Lyer looking for someone to pass to. Finds Hoffer. He puts up a 3-point attempt. No good off the front of the rim. Deacon's able to retain the ball. Hoffer over to Clava. Clava, nice drive. Gets a foul call and one. Foul there on number 15, Forrest Hansen.
Foul's on number 15, Forrest Hansen.
That'll be his first personal, with Clava shooting the end one attempt. And it's good. Brings it down only to a 5-point lead here for Devils Lake with about 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Onside looking for someone, but kind of backs down, kicks it out to Dahlin. Another turnover, almost turnover there for the Deacons, but Firebirds got lucky there, and the ref called it out of bounds. Freilich now inbounding the ball for Devils Lake. Tip pass there by Hoffer, and it will be a turnover there for the Deacons as they kind of relax here after a little bit of energy spark there. Hoffer and Clava working the pick and roll game. Clava with a nice pump fake. Shot does not convert, but Barr does come with the rebound. Rebound comes down to Devils Lake with about a minute and 30 seconds remaining here in the first half. Dahlin kicks it into the corner over to number 12, Widmer. They'll call travel on the play. That'll be another turnover on the Firebirds, and it'll be Deacons ball. Checking back in for Devils Lake will be number 0, Jacob Green. He'll be coming in for Luke Anstead. You know, if you're the Deacons, how critical is it to maybe even bring it closer down, maybe not get tied, but within like a possession or two?
Oh, I mean, that would be critical. Shanley, if they could get a couple more points and kind of go into the half with maybe a 2 or 3 point deficit, they could easily come out and kind of get a spark going, go on a bit of a run, and then pull ahead even. Yeah,
as we were talking there, Hoffer was able to convert to bring it down to a 3 point deficit here for the Deacons with a timeout called for Devils Lake. And it was a good, smart timeout there by Devils Lake. You could feel the energy. The Deacons were on a huge run. They need to try to settle the run a little bit. If you're the Devils Lake head coach, what are you telling your team right now?
You know, I'd be telling them, you know, stop fouling, obviously. They've had a lot of trouble with that. And just kind of relax, just kind of play smart defense, make smart plays, and then go into the half with hopefully a little bit of a lead left.
Yeah, if you're Devils Lake, if you can get this back up to a 6 to 8 point game going in the half, you got to be feeling good with how close it is right now. I think they just got to start playing like they did coming out of the game, but that also is give credit to the Deacons because some of their shots now are falling that weren't falling to begin the game. Back into the action here. We have Widmer kicks it over to Green. Back up to Widmer. Widmer's going right back to Green. Energy's getting into it here from the crowd. Dahlin gets stalled, kicks it out to 15 Hansen. Green with a 3 point attempt, and that's good. That's a critical shot there for Devils Lake to kind of silence the crowd here and bring that lead back out to 6 points. Hoffer setting up the offense, takes it himself. They'll have a foul on the play. It'll be a block called on the Firebirds. I believe that will be on number 12, Widmer, with his reaction. He did not look like he was too happy about that. And it will be on Widmer, and that'll be his third personal, with Hoffer shooting 2 free throws at the line. First attempt is up, and no good, rattles out. Back in for the Firebirds is number 20, Bjornsson. Hoffer's second attempt is up and good. Brings it back down to a 5 point deficit for the Deacons. Green able to get it across for Devils Lake. Bjornsson able to take a pass, but is broken up by DeKaiser, and he gets it out to Hoffer in transition. Hoffer gets a good look at a basket, but is unable to convert. Dawn with the ball here for Devils Lake. Almost turns over and does turn it over. A floater there for Lyer brings him to a 3 point game with about 10 seconds here remaining in the first half. If you're Devils Lake, you got to go here. About 10 seconds left in the half if they want a good look. Green passes up an open shot opportunities, kind of get stalled here. I don't think they realize they have 1 second left. Brayton puts up a last second shot, and it is no good. Here at the half, Deacons are only down by 3. Andy, what do you think kind of sparked the Deacons getting back on that run, making this only a 3 point deficit now?
I definitely think it was all the turnovers and kind of violations made by Devils Lake. They were getting the ball back. They were giving the ball to Deacons a lot of turnovers. Shanley wasn't always converting on them, but, I mean, it gave them the spark that they really needed to kind of start to come back and start to put up some points later in the game.
And now at the half, we do have some stats here. Hoffer with 13 points for the Deacons and Clavel with 5 as well, with Lyer having 4 off the bench. And for Devils Lake, no surprise at all with Grant Nelson leading them with 11. And now at the half, it will be a 3 point lead here for Devils Lake. We have about a 10-minute intermission, but stay tuned. We have a great a second half basketball coming next. as we get back to our second half of action, we'd like to remind you that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathleticclub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you are not one already. It's easy to become a member, and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level. Now back Nelson bringing the ball up the court for Devils Lake. And one thing we forgot to mention in the first half, Andy, is last game went to overtime. So how much, both teams really want to win this game. Is that fueling them at all?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's always good kind of a mindset to go into a game wanting to beat someone who previously beat you, and it is kind of hard to beat a team multiple times in one season. So yeah, I definitely think it's huge for Shanley as kind of a little incentive to win this game.
As the Devils Lake makes a three there, Deacons back now. Looks like they'll call travel on Daniel Warner. And right away, Emmett Kenny's in for Daniel Warner. And Deacons did have a different starter there. If you guys didn't see, Braden DeKaiser started for Owen Mears. Owen Mears is out on the bench with his left shoe off, so we'll have to watch that to see if he'll be able to come back and play. But it looks like he's loosening his shoes up and might give it a go. Onside there for the three. It rattles in and out. Rebound comes down to Clava. Hoffer up to Kenny. Kenny back up to Hoffer, and Hoffer is now setting up the Deacons half-court offense. Pick there by Clavo with Bars missing that two-point shot. Rebound to Devils Lake as they now push the pace a little bit to try to score here. Josh Dahlin with a good look. Rebound comes in by none other than Grant Nelson for another two-point basket, stretching the lead back out to 8 points for Devils Lake. Looks like Clavel wasn't ready there for the pass, but is not able to turn over. Deacons get a lucky break there with Hoffer shooting the three, and he converts. A lot of the times it does take Hoffer a while to get going, but once the second half hits, he's kind of going and is ready to play.
Yeah, that could be a huge component of this game if Talon Hoffer can keep hitting shots like that from outside the arc.
And another turnover for the Firebirds right away to start this first half, about 2 minutes in. Hoffer looks at another three-point attempt, but it does not take it. Passes it up to DeKaiser at the top of the key. Hoffer will take that shot, but will airball it. Devils Lake will come down with the rebound. Onside up to Dahlin. Onside over to Nelson. Nelson down into the corner to Freilich. Deacons trying to force a turnover, but Grant Nelson gets the ball and is going to take that three and will miss. That might be only the first or second three we've seen him miss all game here, as there will be a foul call on Devils Lake. That'll be on number 24, Josh Dahlin, his first team foul of the half. And while we do have a little break here, we would like to mention about the other game going on between Shanley and Devils Lake, which is a girls' game. And Shanley Deacons are down by 2 at half with Devils Lake up. And we also like to mention a shout-out from Grace Emineth and Emily Post. Thank you guys for watching. And if you are watching and have any shout-outs, make sure to tweet at us at Shanley TV. Isaac Clava there, looking for a pass, takes the two-point attempt, and it's good. Stretching the Deacons deficit down to 3. Deacons will put on their full-court press. Little series of passing, and Devils Lakes easily breaks it. Nelson up top, over to onside, quick pass to Freilich in the corner, and he'll take the 3 and will convert, stretching that back out to a 6-point lead. Coach Burns for the Deacons calling a set play there for Deacons, and now they're getting into it. Almost turns it over there after a tip pass by Freilich. Clavel will take another attempt. Same spot as last one, but it's unable to convert this time. Devils Lake transition quickly, looking for a shot, but they relax and pull it back out. Another 3 attempt by Freilich. Unable, and Clava gets the rebound. Kenny bringing the ball up the court now for the Deacons, takes it right to the hoop. Looks like he might have got away with the push there, but it will remain with the Deacons as they called out of bounds on Devils Lake. Now coming in for Devils Lake is number 0, Jacob Green, and number 12, Michael Widmer. Bars kicks it over to Kenny right in front of the Shanley Deacons bench. Kicks it back out to Clava. Clava for the 3. Gets tipped by Grant Nelson. Rebounded by his brother, Leaf Nelson. Grant Nelson back to Nelson. Over to Freilich. Back out to Leif Nelson. Green with a deep 3 attempt, and he'll convert. That was NBA range, wasn't it, Andy?
Yeah, Devils Lake, they went dangerous with the 3-ball tonight.
And, you know, speaking about being dangerous with 3-ball, that's not common to both these teams, that they're at the bottom of the EDC in their 3-point percentage. Hand off to DeKaiser from Clava. DeKaiser can't find anyone, kicks it over to Bars. Bars tries to drive, Kicks it out to Hoffer. Hoffer makes a move, but they'll call it push on number 2, Joey Freilich. That'll be a second team foul, as well as a second on Joey Freilich. Bars gets the ball up top. Kicks it over to Hoffer. Hoffer will take the 3-point attempt. Does not convert off the front end of the rim. Nelson trying to get the Firebirds transition offense working, but Freilich kind of takes it out and just relaxes with the ball. Crowd trying to come alive here for the Deacons, and Deacons are able to force a turnover with Hoffer leading the transition offense. Looked like he was going to take it, but makes a nice spin move and cut, and is able to convert. Boy, that was a pretty shot, Andy. Brings it up just to a 7-point deficit now for the Deacons as a foul is called on the play. It'll be on number 12, Braden Bars. It'll be a second personal as well as a second team foul. In for the Deacons now is Joe Cava for the first time this evening, as well as 24, Josh Dawn for the Firebirds. Firebirds kicking around top of the key here. Freilich driving to the corner, gets stopped by Cava and Bars, but is able to get inside and misses a shot, and rebound comes down to Kenny after battling for it. Kenny calling for Bars, but he's not come and kicks it over to the other Braden DeKaiser. Hoffer with another pretty spin move, but is unable to convert this time. Rebound comes down to, yet again, Grant Nelson. Freilich kicks it out to Green. That's another deep 3 attempt, and it completely misses everything that time. Another substitution here for Devils Lake. Back in will be number 1, Luke Anstad. For number 2, Joey Freilich. With just a little over 12 minutes remaining here in the second half, Devils Lake has a 7-point lead over Shanley Deacons. Kenny kicks up top to Bars. Gets tightly defended, but puts it up. A foul called, but the shot does not go, so we have 2 free throw attempts coming up here. Now will be on number 24, Josh Dahlin. That'll be a second personal, 3rd team foul. Bar's first attempt is up and good. Second attempt now coming from Braden Bars is also up and also good. Brings it now to only a 5-point lead here for Devils Lake. Deacons applying their full court pressure, but again, Devils Lake's able to defeat that. Onside guy gets a little trapped there, but kicks over to Nelson. Pump fake to Nelson, kicks it down to Widmer in the corner. And a turnover on Nelson. DeKaiser getting their fast break going for the Deacons. Kicks it down to Hoffer. Out for Kenny for a 3. It looked no good. Cava with the rebound, no good as well. DeKaiser with another rebound, but he gets that swatted out of the air. It'll be Devils Lake ball with Onside bringing it up the court. We have a travel call down there in the corner on Josh Dahlin. Be another turnover on Devils Lake with Shanley retrieving the ball here. Bars now bringing up the ball. Kicks it over to the other Braden DeKaiser. DeKaiser takes a little floater. Gets denied by Grant Nelson with Devils Lake out in transition here. Josh Dahlin slows it up for them. Devils Lake sets up their half-court offense. Nice feed there for Nelson to Widmer for a 2-point basket, stretching out the lead back out to 7 points. Kenny just in front of Coach Burns there. Kicks it to Hoffer with a nice pump fake, step back, 2-point shot, which is just short. Brandon Kaiser able to come down with the rebound. Thinks about going up, but thinks better with Grant Nelson facing right in his face. Nice cut there, and then Grant Nelson shows his presence again with another block. Josh Dallin with the three-point attempt is up and no good. Rebound comes down to Brandon Kaiser. Hoffer made a move on number 1, Onstad, but there will be a foul on the play. It'll be on the floor, so there'll be no shots. It'll be on number 1, Luke Anstad. It'll be his third team foul, third personal, and fourth team foul. In for the Firebirds is number 23, Leif Nelson. And for the Deacons will be number 50, Isaac Clava. Deacons are now inbounding the ball underneath. Hoffer's able to find a Kaiser who kicks it back out to Clava, who gets into his jumping shot and does not make it. Green bringing the ball up the court for Devils Lake here. Swings over to the corner to Onstad, back to Nelson, Leif Nelson. He gets the rebound again for the third time, keeps going up, keeps trying, but is unable to convert with the rebound coming down to Joe Cava. Deacons kind of slowing it up here now, trying to get a good look. Clava tries to drive on Leif Nelson, almost turns it over, but is able to recover it. De Kaiser with the drive now. Goes up for the shot and will get fouled on the play, so he'll have 2 shots coming. The foul will be on number 12, Michael Widmer. That would be his 4th personal, 5th team foul. That's something to watch there. Fouls are really starting to add up with now one player about 1 more foul away from fouling out of this ball game. De Kaiser in his free throw routine puts up the first attempt and rattles out, which is no good. In for the Firebirds will be number 2, Joey Freilich. In for number 12, Michael Widmer. That's probably about the last we've seen of Michael Widmer until about 3 or 4 minutes left remaining in this game. Second attempt is up, and it is good. 6-point lead here for Devils Lake with just under 10 minutes remaining in the ball game. Freilich found in the middle from Onstad, back to Onstad into the corner to Josh Dallin. Tip pass, Deacons able to come up with it. That's Kenny there trying to make a move, but gets swatted by Leif Nelson. Green pushing the pace, floats it up to Freilich, which Freilich just tries to save it and is able to find Leif Nelson, who puts up the 3, which is no good. Deacons with the rebound, bringing it up the court now. De Kaiser over to Hoffer. Clavel with a 3, and it's good. 3-point ball game with 9 minutes remaining here in the second half. A little bit of energy coming for the crowd, trying to cheer their Deacons on here as they almost force another turnover. Floated up to Leif Nelson, gets trapped there by a few Deacons, brings it out, is able to kick it out to Green, who passes up a 3-point attempt. Now as the crowd really comes to life here, there's a lot of energy in this gym. 3 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Just able to get it off. Deacons able to somehow get that rebound after a nice poke out there by Hoffer. Now, smart veteran move here by Hoffer, kind of slowing up, knowing they have a lot of time left in this game. You know, how crucial is it to have one of those veteran players that knows the sense of this game?
It's extremely crucial. There's a lot of players out there who have a lot of talent on this Shanley team, but a lot of them are very inexperienced. And no matter how good you are, if you don't have a lot of experience in the varsity game, then you're not going to be as good as the other people out there.
2-point basket made there by Joe Cava. That will be his first 2 points of the game. Brings it to a 1-point deficit for the Deacons. If you're Devils Lake here, you might want to think about calling a timeout if you don't get a good look within about 10 seconds of the shot clock. Onstad kicks it over to Green. Back to Onstad. Looks at Green. Green passes it up to Onstad in the corner. Flies by Clava. No foul call there with a rebound coming down to De Kaiser. The Deacons on this possession can either take the lead or just not do anything, I guess. And they will have a chance to take the lead and to tie it with a foul called. It looks like it will be called on number 23, Leif Nelson, with Hoffer receiving 2 shots. Which the foul will actually be called on Green, which will be a second personal 6-team foul. So for the remaining of the game, the Deacons will be in the bonus. Braden Bars checks in for the Deacons as Grant Nelson checks in for Josh Dallin for the Firebirds. Hoffer with this free throw attempt can give the lead to the Deacons for the first time in this ball game, and he does convert with about 7 minutes remaining in this ball game. Deacons are now up by 1 after at one point being down by about 20 points. Energy comes back in the gym with Leaf Nelson not worrying about it. There will be a block called on Isaac Clava, so Leaf Nelson will be able to shoot 2 shots at the free throw line.
Number 50, Isaac Clava, first personal, third team foul.
Looks like they'll actually call it on the ground, so the Devils Lake will get the ball out of bounds underneath the hoop. And that foul was called on number 50, Isaac Clava, though, his first personal, third team foul for the Deacons this half. Frederick up top to Green, over to Onstad. Passes up an open shot. Looks like there'll be another foul called there on the Deacons. A reach on number 15, Braden DeKaiser. That'll be his third personal, as well as the 4th team foul for the Deacons. Devils Lake inbounds it quickly, trying to catch the Deacons off guard, but the Deacons are on guard and able to stop them. Green with a nice floater, but misses everything. And Joe Cava comes down with the rebound. Deacons kind of extend this lead here now to about 2 or 3 points. Hand off to DeKaiser. DeKaiser almost loses it. Ends up getting it back. Hoffer ripped through. He kicks it out to DeKaiser with a 2-point shot, which converts, makes it a 3-point lead now for the Deacons. You know, you kind of had a feeling that the Deacons were going to take the lead at one point, but did you think it was going to take this long for them to get the lead back?
Definitely not. I mean, going into halftime, they had a lot of energy from the crowd on the bench and even the players in the game. But yeah, it has taken a long time. The energy kind of died down for a little bit at the start of the second half, but they really started to get it back and take this lead.
And now the energy is even larger with the turnover. Hoffer up to Bars, and he's able to put it up, but is no good. Rebound to Grant Nelson. Devils Lake pushing the pace here. That's Freilich. And they'll have a charge called on Freilich. If you're Devils Lake, that hurts a lot. Not only does it add another foul to one of your better players, it lightens up the crowd a little more, get them some more energy here.
Yeah, plays like that definitely fuel the fire in a late game situation like this where the score that's very close.
That'll be Freilich's third personal, as well as this 17 foul for the Firebirds. So now the Deacons will be in the bonus on the next foul. Bars bringing the ball up the court here for the Deacons. Over to Clava, right over to DeKaiser in front of the Deacons bench. Gets it swatted away by Josh Dolan, and Dolan's able to keep it, go up for an easy 2-point basket, and converts, bringing it back to a 1-point lead now for the Deacons. Hoffer with the ball here, setting up the offense with Joe Cava. Almost loses it there, and he does end up losing it. Battle on the ground. It will be called the jump ball, with the ball going to the Firebirds. Now in for the Firebirds is number 12, Michael Widmer. He's in for 2, Joey Freilich, who just picked up his 3rd foul. Leif Nelson up to Josh Green. Josh Green can't find anyone except Grant Nelson. Ooh, Grant Nelson had someone easy in the corner, but he goes up for the dunk and slams it home. That gives the Firebirds the lead by 1 again as the Deacons bring up the ball up the court. DeKaiser in front of the Deacons bench. Find Hoffer's down low. Hoffer working on Widmer. Throws up a tough shot and makes it. You know, that's a tough shot, but we should expect Talon Hoffer to make that, shouldn't we?
Definitely. Talon Hoffer's an excellent athlete no matter what sport he's playing, and he's definitely the player who goes out there and kind of takes risky shots but can definitely make them.
You know, with it only being a 1-point lead here for the Deacons, you got to think both teams are kind of remembering that game that went into overtime last time they played earlier in the season. So if you're both teams, you got to try to keep that out of their mind and just continue to keep fighting here.
Yeah, definitely. With any sport, you kind of want to let go of the past while at the same time kind of building off of it, and they definitely want to be looking kind of towards the future and hopefully to win this game and move along in the ABC.
Now we do have a couple stats here for you. Talon Hoffer for the Deacons is up to 22 points, with Grant Nelson has 15 points in the game. Also, Devils Lake has 3 players at 3 fouls, and they have 1 at 4 fouls. We'll try to keep you updated on some of those stats, but it is kind of hard trying to get those. But we will try to keep you updated as best as we can. The refs do now break the huddles for each team, or at least try to. with about 5 minutes remaining here in the second half of play. As both teams do now enter the court, it will be Devils Lake ball with Josh Green bringing it up for Devils Lake. Jacob Green. Back to Jacob Green. Missed a wide open Leaf Nelson down below, but is able to get over to Josh Down, who misses it with a rebound coming down to Isaac Clavel, but then he does mishandle it. Out of bounds on him. Ball will remain with Devils Lake. Widmer with the ball up top. Over to Jacob Green, back right away to Widmer. Widmer looks for a hole to drive but can't find one. Looking for another pass, finds Jacob Green again. If you're Devils Lake, you got to use both sides of the floor right here as they've tried to keep it on that one side the whole time. That's a critical turnover there for Devils Lake as the Deacons can push it out to a 3 or 4 point lead here. Hoffer and Clavel working that pick and roll game. Hoffer attacking Nelson right away and gets 2 point basket, stretching the lead out to 3. Nelson to Green, back to Nelson. Up to Widmore, into the middle to Grant Nelson, who they need to attack. If Devils Lake wants to win this game, that's going to be the key player for them to find. We'll have a foul on the play on Joe Cava. That'll be his first personal as well as the 5th team foul of the half. Dolan over to Widmer, right away to Green. He'll take that 3-point attempt and will not convert, but will able to get the rebound. Looking for a pass, trapped there by Bars and Cava. Gets the ball back, almost loses it again. Widmer drives back out to Green. Green down to Grant Nelson. Does a nice little drop step, is able to convert, making it a 1 point lead now for the Deacons with about 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here in the ball game. Hoffer to DeKaiser up top, and they'll call a offensive foul here on Isaac Clava. He was not trying to set that screen. And you know that was just one mistake, but you can't have for both teams here with this being that close. You can't have critical mistakes like that.
Definitely not. I mean, it's at this point in the ball game where any little inch you give the other team, they could take it and possibly win the game with it. So you definitely want to shy away from moments like that.
Turnover there by Nelson, trying to pass it to his brother Grant Nelson, but the Deacons retain the ball. Barr's going to pick there from Clava. Kicks it out to DeKaiser, who drives. Makes a little move, able to put it up, and it will rattle in for the Deacons, stretching the lead back out to 3 points. They'll apply that heavy pressure on right away, which Devils Lake has done a great job getting through that pressure. Dolan with the floater, his face right in front of Joe Cava. Rebound, Devils Lake kicks it out to Widmer with a 3, no good. Rebound, looks like it was going to be, it does come to the Deacons. Bars going right away, looks like there'll be a foul call, and they will call a charge on Bars as Jacob Green was set there.
Falls on number 12, Braden Bars.
That'll be his third personal, 7th team foul. So both teams now will be in the bonus for the remainder of this ball game. There will be a block called on Isaac Clava with Grant Nelson going to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. That will also be his third personal on Isaac Clava as well as the 8th team foul on the Deacons. And looks like they will do the bonus and it will be a 1-and-1 opportunity here for Nelson. First attempt is up and good. Now back in for the Firebirds is number 2, Joey Freilich, in for Green. Final attempt for Nelson is up, and it is also good. Brings it down to a 1 point deficit for the Firebirds. With just under 2:30 remaining in the basketball game, Hoffer brings it up the floor for the Deacons, trying to set up the offense, motioning players to go where he wants them to get a good look. They got a good look, but unable to convert. Hoffer does now try to get the ball back, but he will get a foul called on him. As Grant Nelson heads back to the free throw line to shoot another 1-and-1. That'll be the first personal foul on Talon Hoffer as well as the 9th team foul on the Deacons. So the next foul called on Deacons, the Firebirds will be in the double bonus. The first attempt is up and good from Grant Nelson. That ties the ball game. His second attempt can put the Firebirds out in front if he does convert, and which he does not. So it will be a tied ball game with about 2 minutes remaining here. Glava over to DeKaiser in front of his coach, Coach Burns. Back to Hoffer up top. Hoffer tries to make a move, gets a little room, kicks over to DeKaiser in the corner, passes up the shot, drives, stops right in front of Grant Nelson, but cannot convert. Rebound comes down to Joey Freilich, who immediately kicks over to Widmer to get the offense going. Over to Leaf Nelson in the corner. He puts up the three, which is good. Gives him a 3-point lead with about 1:40 remaining in the game. You know, we would expect Grant Nelson to hit that shot, but it was his brother, Leaf Nelson. It kind of runs in the family, I guess you could say.
Thirty-second timeout taken by the Deacons.
There'll be a 30-second timeout on the floor called by the Deacons. You know, you'd expect that timeout to be called for a huge run that they're trying to stop, but that wasn't. This is a timeout, if you could say, that was trying to set up a play. So if you're the Deacons here, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to get a 3-point attempt or an easy 2?
I'd definitely be trying to get a 3-point attempt. I mean, you definitely want to get this game tied, give yourself the biggest advantage you can. You know, kind of towards the end of the game with a little more even ground, so with a better chance to hopefully win it.
Yeah, and if you're Devils, like, you always got to assume to protect the hole, but with how Shanley has been shooting it, they will probably look for a 3-point attempt, but if they can't get it, don't be surprised if they look at a Joe Calver or Isaac Clava underneath for an easy 2-point hook or a basket. Kicked ball right away. That'll be kicked by Widmer, so the Deacons will try to throw it in again. Second attempt now throwing it in for the Deacons. Does convert into Joe Cava, who immediately kicks it to Isaac Clava, who looks underneath for DeKaiser. And he's able to convert, bringing it now to a 1-point lead for the Firebirds with 1:20 remaining. Deacons applying that pressure, making it tough for Devils Lake to get across, but they are able to do so. Leif Nelson up top, over to Josh Dawn in the corner, back to Widmer. Now back to Dawn, gets trapped there by Clava and Bars trying to find someone. And Devils Lake head coach will call a timeout. It'll be a 30-second timeout. You know, you would expect with how many fouls Devils Lake had in that first half and how they've been adding up, you would expect a couple of their players to be fouled out, but that kind of just shows how veteran they are with them not being fouled out yet. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely been doing a great job of kind of watching themselves, kind of checking themselves where they wreck themselves, not really getting too overly aggressive on any play and trying to keep themselves in the game, knowing how important they are to their team.
So with about a minute remaining in the basketball game, with Devils Lake up by 1 point, both teams will come back onto the floor here for another minute and 3 seconds if there are no timeouts called. Which I would have to say there probably will be a couple timeouts and probably a few fouls as well.
Would not surprise me.
About 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Devils Lake gets a look from Leif Nelson. Just a little long. There will be a foul called on Devils Lake. It will be pushed as Bars was going up for the rebound. Now be called on number 24, Josh Dolan. That'll be his third personal as well as the 8th team foul for the Firebirds. Brayden Barr shooting the bonus. And we would just like to mention some of the rosters for Devils Lake has Josh Dolan as number 4, but in fact he is playing as 24 tonight. First one converts, making it a tie ball game. Second attempt is up and no good. Grant Nelson able to bring down that rebound with just under a minute remaining here in tonight's game. Crowd trying to cheer the Deacons to get another stop, and they're able to get a steal here. That was a critical steal as they can bring this down to about 15 seconds left there and get a good look and maybe try to win this ball game here. You wouldn't expect it to be in anyone else's hands here besides Hoffer.
Oh, no.
Hoffer trying... Excuse me, Andy, there, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but nice stop there by Grant Nelson, who Devils Lake can now get one final look with about 20 seconds left. How crazy would that be if the game 2 of the year would also go to overtime here at Shanley? There will be a foul call there on Hoffer. It looks like they'll call a blocking call, which will send the Devils Lake Firebirds to the line for 2 shots as they are now in the double bonus. That'll be Hoffer's second personal foul. Can't imagine how nervous he is here with 2 critical free throw attempts. But they do not show, and he's able to convert on the first attempt. Second attempt can make it a 2-point ball game here for Devils Lake. Second attempt is up and also good. You would expect the Deacons to get across half court and then call a timeout right away. Coach Burns motioning Talon Hoffer to get across the line as he has taken his time, which gotta expect he shouldn't. DeKaiser drives in, gets a good look to Joe Cava. Gets denied by Grant Nelson, kicks it out to Bars, but is out of bounds off Josh Dolan with 1.3 seconds remaining in this ball game. Deacons do call a timeout to draw up a play here. So with about a second left, that gives them about 1 dribble and then a shot. But if you're the Deacons here, do you try to set up a screenplay to maybe a lob to Daniel Warner, or do you try to get a 3-point attempt in the corner?
Right now, I'd probably play it a little more conservative. Just try and get a two-point play in there. Send it in overtime and have a good chance at winning the game.
Yeah, and it looks like Daniel Warner will not be in on this next possession. So it looks like they'll have to try to find someone else to make that 2-point basket, or they'll try to do a pull-up game, or who knows what Coach Burns has up his sleeve here. Now checking in for the Firebirds there was number 1, Luke Onstad. So with about 1.3 seconds remaining in this ball game, Devils Lake will be up by 2 points as both teams come out timeout here. You gotta has a feeling we might go to overtime again for the number 2 game. And inbounding the ball for the Deacons, it looks like it will be Braden DeKaiser as he makes his way out of the timeout area for the Deacons. Looks like they're trying to locate Hoffer over there. Looks like they're going to try to get it to him with a couple of screens here. They're able to do so. Hoffer gets a good look, able to throw it up, and almost makes it, but it's no good with no foul called, and that'll do it, folks. Andy Simon, any final thoughts on tonight's game?
Well, going forward, Shanley's going to have to start capitalizing on some of the turnovers given to them and more opportunities that are presented to them. They just got to start making more shots, keep up energy, and that's what it'll take to start winning more games. Devils Lake, I mean, they played a great game. We're very dangerous outside of the 3-point arc. I mean, we're a little too deep with fouls, but besides that, I think they did a great job winning this game.
Yeah, and before we head, we do have a couple final total point scores here for each player. So with Deacons, Hoffer led them with 24, followed by DeKaiser with 12, and Clavo with 10. And on the other side, for Devils Lake, there will be 24 Grant Nelson and 10 for his brother Leaf Nelson, followed up by 9 from Joey Freilich. For Andy Simon and our entire crew, I'm Braden Altringer. The final score from Fargo, Shanley Deacons, 55, and Devils Lake, 57. To watch the archived version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to ShanleyTV.com. The proceeding has been a presentation of Shanley TV.